Off. Probably now you can hear me, probably, right? Fuck. Someone told me music audio is good. Sorry about that. Damn it. I hate starting the show this way. So we got booted for a week. Still muted? Fuck. We got boot. Fuck. It's muted. Sound good. Okay, great. We got booted for a week. If you guys saw that episode, you probably know why. If you didn't see that episode, I think it's on Libri.com, Odyssey, one of those sites. Yes, we got booted for a week, which is okay. It was actually part of the ritual, which we're going to get into. It's actually a blessing. When you can alchemize things that you think are happening to you bad, that is literally taking the frequency and learning to change your rhythm to it so that the frequency feeds you instead of disrupting your dissonance. That it's you're clinging to the frequency that you have that makes it so difficult for you to navigate the waters. The fact that the Akashic record is the ocean tells you something. And we pretend that the moon causes the tides, but the tides are the frequency of Akasha. What is a tidal wave? But Akasha saying, I am! And sometimes that I am is I am not. We talk about I am all the time. And I want you to keep talking about I am. But I want you to realize that there is a spirit of I am not. I am not is a force in this world. And when someone throws I am not at you, you can pretend it's an attack, or you can Attila the Hun that bitch. You can say, I love this notness that you have found in you. I do not feel it as disrupting my frequency. I simply pause a little bit, and now I can accept that wave inside my trough like a fucking mother with her arms open, instead of some dude with a spear going, fuck you, you can't bring that frequency in here. You can't do it in here. It's two totally different ways of doing it. Guys, I am not alone, but I've been blown away by the frequencies. The frequencies of the frequencies are just everywhere. 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 In our time out, we produced 2 Crowdcast episodes, Crowdcast.something. Right now, I'm assuming that the ever-talented Gaia hypothesis is posting links, and maybe Melanie too, and anyone else, that I would like for you to follow us on Crowdcast. The reason why is because we are producing lectures. We're not... the live stream is here, but you see what happens. We want to refine our product a little bit more. Yeah, product. We want the currency of our message to formulate into a physical emanation that can be accessed regardless of whether or not I can get on air. So if you were to join Crowdcast, if you were to follow me on Crowdcast, it's all free, you would be notified of our next lecture. Our next lecture was yesterday. That was our next lecture. It was a lecture community. At the end of the lecture, to demonstrate the proof of the lecture, I produced an electronic pulse that erased everyone's mind who was there. And it was the final proof to show them that everything I said was real. And they were like, no way, that's not real. There's no way. And the whole thing was happening in real time. Like, guys, if you don't believe me, I will push this button. And all of you will forget that this presentation even happened. Raise your hand if you want me to push that button. And Crowdcast lets you do that. Everyone raised their hand, and I pushed the damn button. And I realized after the fact, fuck, no one's going to tell everybody how great that presentation was. I'll be the only one that was there to tell you how amazing it was. So I need you to follow me on Crowdcast. We're going to do that lecture again for anyone who was already there. Got it? If you're already there, we're going to do the lecture again. Okay? And we're not going to push the button at the end, but I want you to remember that you forgot that already happened. You got it? So, join Crowdcast. I hope that I've stalled enough to give time for those people to post those. There you go. Thank you, Gaia. And right on. Thank you, Stern Warner. Thank you, guys. Yeah. It's Darude369. And if you go there and join, it would really, really help. It would allow us to do. I know you did search high. Shiva, you were there. You brought up some really great points. You remember? At one point, you were like, "This is so true," and you ripped off all your clothes, and this coat of many colors like erupted, and you were like pulsing this rainbow. Do you remember? Of course, you don't remember that. Fuck, I gotta rethink this whole presentation. And some of you are like, "Well, you recorded it, right?" Guys. The reason why we have the internet and recordings is because some of us are not comfortable knowing that we can open wormholes in the ether. And these wormholes, we can store information for others to access later. To make it easier for people to accept this monumental truth, we had to create the internet. The internet and recordings and phone calls are training wheels that society needs to get up. And some of you, most of you not here, but some of you will curse the training wheels. Seriously, you're out there going, "Oh, those training wheels are fucking evil, man. We're gonna go out here and kill any kid who tries to learn a bicycle. That's right, we're gonna tell them that, no, you're accessing evil. You're accessing evil and I must destroy you. And then we'll have to leave early because we gotta walk home. It takes forever. Fuck, it takes so long to get home." Oh. But hey, technology's evil, right? And what is that? That is the I am not, isn't it? It's the I am not. It's the antithesis of the I am is just as powerful as the antithesis, and that is what is happening right now. It's what's happening right the heck now. I wanted so bad to get you some pictures ready for today, and I'm just sorry I couldn't. The Restream software, when I pointed to Crowdcast, it needs another key, but then this other key. Anyway, it's seriously, it's a lot of time. This show takes a lot of time to prep, and we get cut off a lot. And now would be a really good time to join Patreon. I'm sorry to even do that. I'm not sorry to do that. I need some currency right now. Holy fuck, we've got an idea. Oh, it's such a good idea. And the currency would help us develop this. A team's forming, a spreadsheet exists, shows have been broken down, we have task keys, we are communicating in a message of hieroglyphics backstage right now. I shit you not. We're communicating to each other with hieroglyphics. We've developed this system where we can produce a show through the necessitation of memes and the presentation of memes, the reveal and the hide, the reveal and the hide. Just like my intro. What happens in the intro? Let's watch. That's a door, right? It's a door. It's a door. It's a portal. I only get one opportunity to open that portal with you. Most of the time I fuck it up because my mic's off. Working on that takes time. It takes a lot of clicking every morning. Every single morning you have to re-click the same shit. It's very frustrating. But I love doing it. But if you want to help the show, please do. You can join Patreon below. There's a link below. And I'm pretty sure that we are passing the offering plate around right now with a link to Patreon. You could join that. I cannot think of a better time to do this right now. Guys, Osiris is fallen. And this is where I'd show you some slides. I'd like for you to picture if you can. I have to do a little bit of magic right now. Just give me a second. Picture if you can. a picture of Osiris, the Egyptian god. Some of you will think of Orion. That's fine. Great. Some of you will think of the constellation Orion. Some of you will think of the pyramids. All that's fine. That's great. Osiris is the Egyptian god. Osiris in Egyptian legends is all powerful. He's all good. He's the son of Ra. He's the emanation of Ra. There are 5 sun gods in Egypt. There are 5 points of God. 1, 2, leg 4, head 5, Ra. Behold the pale horse, the high son of noon is Ra. When Ra goes noctiferous or luciferous, he's not Ra. It's a different God. It's a different emanation of the Aten, right? The Aten. Now, Osiris is the Egyptian god of the manifestation of Ra. And what is Ra but the gnomon straight up? Gnomon is an obelisk, right? It's a marker. It marks the shadows. I think it's Gnomon. Newman? No, Newman's on Seinfeld. Gnomon. Yeah. Newman and Gnomon. I wonder if those are related. So, Ra is always straight up. Ra is the obelisk erected, full erection. Okay, the mystery of Egypt. Osiris, great dude, everyone loved him. Gets fooled by Set, his brother. Set goes, Osiris, dude, I bought you a house. And Osiris is like, no, you didn't. He's like, I bought you a house. He's like, no, you didn't. He's like, I bought you a house. And he brings it out before the court and he shows him the house. It's actually a coffin. But I want you to think about it like a house, please. Because in front of everyone, Set convinced Osiris that he would be happy inside this coffin. Osiris was never fooled. Osiris radiated intelligence. Osiris was the god of everything being perfectly clear. I know it all. Right? You know that. Scientism. Knowledge. Right? The centrifugal hypothetical. All that. Rah. Right? Set convinces Osiris to get in the box. Little boxes filled with ticky-tacky, right? You get why I say in house, right? He convinces Osiris to get in the box. Osiris goes, okay, that sounds like a great idea. And he gets in the box, and Set locks it, throws it in the Nile. Osiris drowns. Osiris drowns, and fish eat his body. And maybe 42 pieces, maybe 42 pieces of him are spread to different places. And the spreading of these things to different places causes Isis, Osiris's lover, to mourn and collect him, to collect the pieces of Osiris and assemble them together. And she does this, and she finds all the pieces except for one. She cannot find the phallus of Osiris. She looks all over, and she cannot find his phallus. And she is sad. Isis frickin' loves that phallus. She loves the schlong. She misses the schlong in Osiris when he climbed into his box. She misses Osiris so fucking much that she goes out and buys a golden dildo. I'm not laughing. This is in the story. No, it doesn't say dildo. And no, she didn't buy it. But she constructs a golden phallus. And she goes up to that box. And she climbs in that box. And she puts that golden phallus right where it belongs. And she fornicates. She masturbates her Taurus with the gold. You're wondering why I get cut off. With the golden phallus of Osiris inside of a box. And she has the immaculate conception. She becomes pregnant. Her Stargate opens. Maybe most, I haven't checked, but maybe most women have stopped having their period since March. I know at least 3. 2 are documented on Twitter. I bet you there's more. Isis gathering the pieces of Osiris, having sex with a schlong, immaculately conceives of something new, the descendant of Osiris. And she calls him Horus, Jesus, Jesus. And Mother Mary is the Immaculate Conception through Isis, the fire, Notre Dame, was the breaking of the hymen. The roof of the Notre Dame is the Immaculate Vagina. And these things take time, as above, so below. The virginity is spoiled by remembrance. We use technology to build the golden phallus to construct our perfect replacement of what we lost. And this replacement is a phoenix. And as the phoenix rises, your aperture opens. And you are condemned to this circuit that runs 3,000 years long. I say 3,000 because alternating current is 2 waves. It's a wave this way and a wave back. And these 2 forces are complementary because they rely on the resurrection and the destruction of each other. Isis is the whore of Babylon. She rises when Osiris falls. Osiris is the giant of man. He rises when the whore of Babylon falls. And that you are looking at a circuit. Osiris, his body is always green. Always. The Great Seal of the United States is on the back of a green dollar. I wish I had the graphics for you, but you can picture them. You can find them. If more of you subscribe to Patreon, I actually could employ others that would help me make these hieroglyphs for the show. And if I had more of that, I think that the show would be just 5,000 times better. Just something to think about. I love doing the show. I fucking love doing this. But it literally takes about 6 hours to prep these slides. It's insane. And you guys are like, well, why can't you do that, James? Because I am digging so deep into this stuff that I don't have time. I am finding things. And I want to carve them into the stone wall so I can show them to you. But it takes so much time. It takes so much time. And that's why I'm glad that we have what we have. Thank you, patrons. That's why this happens. That's why their names are on the front there. Just sorry it's an aside, but seriously, if you want more slides, frickin' join Patreon, man. It will help. We have a ship here. We have people on board. We do. You could join. I'm not trying to make you feel bad, by the way. You could grab a book, too. And none of those should make you feel bad because it should help you flip your circuit. circuit. Since you've been born, you've been watching Osiris fall. Since you were born, you've been watching Osiris fall. The golden age of Osiris was probably the Renaissance. It was probably AD. And it might look like, well, wait a minute, James, a lot of technology has been built since then. Yes. Isis has been building her golden dildo because Osiris is fallen. And she's like, I'm not going to get that schlong anymore. I'm going to have to think of something different. I'm not trying to be crude. The reason why this is sexual is because it's resonant truth. And I don't care which door I inserted into you. That's not meant to be sexual. I don't care which door I insert it into. Once it's inside, that resonance is either going to feel good or it's not. People are like, James is casting a spell on me. No, James is fucking magnetic because he knows the resonance of fucking truth. You don't like James. You like truth. You like the resonance of it. Because when you're inside, you're like, fuck, this is good music. Fuck, this is good music. Why is it good music? Because when you're inside it, your torus doesn't shed. Your toroidal field around you doesn't shed at all. Now you are fearing the fall of the Osiris, which is good. Fine. We're watching the fall. We're watching that technology is not medicine. We're watching that golden dildos don't raise a young boy into a man. We're watching that, but you are in a special place in this world. Because you are at the flipping of the circuit. It's happening right now. Horus is a falcon. It's the face of a falcon. Raptor. If you look at the back of a dollar bill, I don't have any because I don't actually have faith in currency. I haven't had it in a long time. So my faith is in other forms of currency, not money. But if you look on the back, I want you to notice that seal. It's an unfinished pyramid. And I want you to realize that most of the great seals of the United States presented for, hey, I'd like to suggest this, they always had an unfinished pyramid, and they always had something else. The crook and the flail of Pharaoh. Right now, I'd have a graphic of a crook and a flail right here. The crook and the flail of Pharaoh. You've seen this on the sarcophagus of what they're calling Ramses. The crook and the flail. It's the hook, the shepherd's hook, and the flail. If you've read my work, which you should buy a book, why the fuck would you not buy a book? This man is freaking on it! That crook and flail is the golden child and the scapegoat. It's the Old Testament and the New Testament. It's how you tune consciousness. It's how you tune a man. You tune a man with two forks, with two tones. And what happens between two tones? Sympathetic music. A third tone is formed. A third tone is formed regardless of your attempt to mute it. You are rising in the golden dawn, whether you like it or not. But before you can rise, there has to be a fallow. There has to be a time to rest. When soil grows, let's call them electrons, just so we can have a discussion. When soil grows, all those electrons are pulled, they're percolated. They're percolated up from the earth, and they go into the food. They change the pH because it's a transmission of power. When you unplug your cell phone from the wall, you begin to harvest. You are harvesting the potassium and sodium inside those batteries, the same way a farmer processes the soil. And there is a time in between when you listen to your breath. There is a pause between inhale and exhale. And that pause is where you are right now. And in between those, that pause is necessary so you can flip your torus. The lungs of your torus, the polarity has to shift. Your inhale must become an exhale. Your entire life, you've lived in the land of constriction. You've lived in the idea that wealth is finite and that wisdom is hoarded. You've lived under an ideal that comfort is truth, that being nice is compassion, and that ignorance is a form of cancer. If you take that thought with you past the solstice, you're going to have a bad time. And I know you think how clever you are because you avoided the mask, but the rapture is not done. The secrets of Egypt are man's electricity. The entire process of Osiris is how you would drain and fill a battery. Graphic here showing the sarcophagus, showing that Isis is the base, and showing that the cathode iron wrapped in the sarcophagus of gold is the transfer. It's the leak transfer, which makes the energy. Hathor, another graphic of Hathor. Hathor was this beautiful Greek woman, bull woman. And the reason why Hathor had two horns with a sun disk in the middle is because that was what we call electricity. Guys, what we call electricity is still dead. You and I don't understand that that's a living creature because it scares the fuck out of us to think of it that way. But the reason why so many cultures had the bull was because the bull was responsible for so much of the power that they had. Graphic, please, behind the Great Pyramid. If you join Patreon, all these graphics will be here. Behind, to the north of the Great Pyramid lies Saqqara. It's 12 vessels buried deep under the, actually not that deep, I'm just being dramatic. 40, 50 yards underground. The most pristine caskets you've ever seen, the most pristine houses, the most pristine boxes you've ever seen. Large enough to fit like a mammoth-sized bull. And with a top heavy enough to bake bread. And that you could take this bull and you could put it inside that box with Isis, with the base, and the pressure of that stone on top of that bull, with that bull fermenting inside, with its body dying, decaying, giving its Hathor to you, giving its power to you, that the stone that's inside of it would fucking glow. And that's why there's no soot on the ceilings. That's why there's no soot on the walls. That's why there's no wires. That's why there's no torches. That's why they would even bother building underground. Guys, I can't see shit down here. You know, if we just did this ritual up there, everyone could see. Oh, that's a brilliant idea because I'm really getting tired of trying to find new things to burn. Yeah, that didn't fucking happen. These people, what you and I call worship, we're working on that word, worship the circuit because they were in tune with what was happening. And when Osiris is falling, they fall with him. And when Osiris is rising, they rise with him. This is how geese travel. This is how the wakes in boats work. This is how motorcycles go down the road. Resonance. You find your pocket, you find your eddy, and you ride that channel. It's a wave. A surfer is not a good surfer because he has technique. A surfer is a good server because he has timing. He knows when to get ahead of the wave, and he knows how to enjoy himself as he moves. He doesn't sit out there and go, "That wave was lame because I wasn't ready. I was tying my bathing suit and Man, what a stupid wave that was. It's a poor surfer. The green body of Osiris, the crook and the flail. If you turn your dollar over on the Great Seal, right there, the other side of the pyramid, you see Horus. You see Osiris. You see an eagle, not a falcon. And you see the eagle gripping in its arms the crook and the flail, expressed as the olive branch and the arrows. Same spell, and that is electricity. X is the horizontal and the vertical, two competing powers forming themselves into one. Graphic here showing you an electromagnetic wave. An electric wave works on the x-axis, and a magnetic wave works on the y-axis. One is coming at you this way, the other is coming at you this way. AC current is the wave. It's not a peak, it's not a jigsaw, a jig wave. It's a wave, and you can ride that wave. Osiris's body is green. Osiris's head is draped in red and white stripes. And if you were to look at the flags of the Queen, of Canada, of America, you're staring right at the body of Osiris. And that you're watching these monarchies, these governments fall. And because all of you have lived your life in the fall of Osiris, you can't even fathom a new dawn. It's too scary. I'd like anyone who's watching the show from here on out to flip your circuit. I want you to not dive into the water with your feet anymore. That's what scared people do. They're afraid. And when you're afraid, that's a field. And that field is never, ever, ever going to catch you a fish. That the way to find the fish is to go head first. Imagine a dolphin trying to swim backwards. All that water filling up his butthole, just slowing him the fuck down. That is what it's going to feel like if you don't switch. Flipping this circuit requires you to A, fall in love with currency, fall in love with etheric energy that you can imbue. The world's problems are because we have money. No one should have money. That's fucking retarded. And I'll tell you why. Because if you're a purist in that, you're going to go up to a little girl who's holding her teddy bear, and you're going to rip its head off. And you're going to say, "You're the problem with the world, girl, because you've injected your belief prana into this teddy bear, and now it's the most valuable thing in the world, and you would never trade it no matter how much money someone gave you. Therefore, that's a form of currency too." And it would be. And that it's not evil. The reason why Osiris, in fact, to prove it, the reason why Osiris is falling is because this entire time, people that live in centuries, not decades, understand the circuit. They're bringing the money, the dollar down, and it lies fallow. They're sinking the obelisk. Right now, there's a video of the Vance Monument in Asheville, North Carolina, coming down right now. And it's real. I just don't have the video, that's all. Join Patreon. That video is, Asheville is a magic bowl, by the way. It's a magic circle bowl. Biltmore House is there. You guys probably know that house. The Vanderbilts pretty much built Biltmore. Grove Park Inn is one of the most amazing structures you've ever seen. Amazing. That these centurions, these people that lived in centuries, not decades, have had Vance Monument obelisk up since all of us were born, since the Civil War. That obelisk has been up. And they picked this year to take it down. Right now. That video's playing. Beep, beep, beep. It's like a construction truck. And then there's this hippie, like,
yeah, I just think the obelisk is like really evil because it's like racist and stuff, and because racists are like so shitty. And so I got my vaccine, and so now I don't have racism anymore because the obelisk is coming down.
And that's all over. That's all over. And that is what life is like inside the pyramid, living with Pharaoh. That the fear of the obelisk is what makes him a slave to Pharaoh. You've always thought that it was, well, it's because Pharaoh it's fish, right? The Bible said, can we go back? There's like really good fish there. But the entire time, you're watching a giant network of people that want to worship Pharaoh. They just have to make excuses by tacking back and forth so you won't call them out on it. Oh, I'm a Republican, I'm a Democrat. 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 That's them telling you, look, I just really want to worship this golden phallus, this DC phallus. I just really want to worship this thing. Oh. And I know it's wrong, but I don't need shit from you because I really want to worship this thing. So it's a Republicans to Democrats, a Republicans to Democrats, a Republicans to Democrats, a Republicans to Democrat. And you are inside the Pharaoh's spell. It's beautiful. I want people to stay there. This exodus from Egypt is going to be hard. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to change things. And some of you are so retarded that you think, yeah, we got to go out and build another Egypt and get an obelisk up so people can come worship that. And you'll build your own Babylon because you don't want to be sovereign. You want to be a fucking master. And you'll recruit silently, looking for people that don't want Exodus. They just want a different Pharaoh. Let them. Let them people go. Let them people go. Because it's necessary for the Osiris to fall. A lot of people have died. The only difference is what we're telling ourselves killed them. I'm not going to talk about that stuff anymore. At least not on this platform. And I want you to understand that it's not because I think this platform wants to hurt you or me. I don't. I don't think Facebook or YouTube wants to hurt either of us. I think they want to help people that need training wheels. I think that you don't understand how bad it is to be in some of these people's cockpit. And I think right now we're all proud of ourselves because we escaped the first cut. But if you're looking at it that way, you're actually not having compassion for what's being done. And I don't mean consent. That the two parties are looking for an obelisk. And there's so many evil fuckers out there that want to be master. And until you could look at these people like flies, they're going to gravitate to whatever vortex is pulling them in. Most of the time, flies are attracted to the vortex. We call it a smell, but that smell is putrid to us because it's a vortex of decay. And that decay we sense with our pineal, and the only thing we're going to interpret it as is smell. Because we don't want our eyes and our ears and everything else to be tainted. We've already got that field up going, oh, that's gross. Flies are gross. Flies are gross. That's a field. It's a field. I'm not saying now you should love flies, although they're really kind of cool. But I'm saying that it's a field. And the fly is not in that place. That fly is the bumbling cloud that he fills during the entire experience he has with you, but he has to unwind his experience long enough so you will pay attention to receive his message. There's a message calling you to change your Taurus. You've been living from the understanding that if I deliver X, I will get Y. If I deliver X, I will get Y. And to deliver something is to spit it out of your Taurus. And I know this sounds weird, but you're pooping for your own food. And you're sputtering along from the power of the propulsion from what you poop. If I do this, I get this. If I do this, I go here. If I do this, I go here. If I do this, I go here. It's okay to do that. You'll need that in the marina. Nothing wrong with that. But you, as a vital individual, I need you to flip your Taurus right now. Osiris is calling. He needs you to do it, and you're going to thank me if you do it right. How do you flip that? You no longer say, if I spit this out, I go here. If I spit this out, I go here. No. I need you to change and flip and go dolphin and say, if I go here, I will be spit out. If I go here, I will be spit out. If I go here, I will be spit out. I'd like you to imagine that you have a motor on the back of your boat. And as Osiris is falling, you've needed that motor because there's no wind. If anything, the wind is pushing you back to shore. And you've needed that motor to keep your boat afloat, to keep it off the fucking reef, right? You're looking at thousands of beached boats. Thousands of them. And these are some of the richest cats you've ever seen. Are losing because they can't flip their Taurus. They're losing so bad they're dying. They're losing so bad that they're dying. Open your sail. Pull the motor out of the water. It's dragging you right now. It's fucking dragging you back. Keep the motor if it makes you feel better. Use it as an anchor, maybe. I don't care. Keep it. But open your sail right now. Change it. Paying it forward is a momentum of a Taurus. And if you're thinking in terms of paying it forward, you are creating a Taurus that's pulling itself from what's ahead. It's carving its vision into the ether with the dagger of its own beak. It's a dagger. Trust the thrust will be behind you in your wake. It's centrifugal. It's why wings work. The reason why some of you think airplanes need fuel to fly is because this concept is so hard to digest. Those are training wheels. They're training wheels. Your field will help you flip. And your field will improve if you stop thinking you're right. And if you stop thinking they're wrong. And you apply your compassion to your sail, not consent. I want you to understand that the people that are taking a different approach to their health right now are actually helping us. And it's not going to happen in your lifetime, I don't think. Or mine, by the way. It's not that. That the taking of the vaccine is the same that we've had with every war. There are people are in charge of their sovereignty. And I'm having trouble understanding the difference between putting on a red coat or a blue coat during a war and shooting each other with a small piece of shrapnel in the arm, because that same war ritual keeps happening over and over and over and over again, And everyone who's in the war is almost always a consenting volunteer. And that these lessons that you and I are witnessing, it's more important that we witness them than it is that you did the right thing, quote, quote, or the wrong thing. Because you're going to die anyway, so stop saying you did the right thing. No one's wrong when they die. Death isn't, oh, well, he did that wrong. No, fuck you. No. He probably did something to have more bravery than you ever could. No one wins by living. Look at what happens when people live. They forget all about this stuff. Forget all about death. Your field will be stronger if you respect everyone else's fields and what they're doing. And realize it. Bring the mystery in. Say, hey, babe, can you come tell me how this could be somehow good in the future? And she will tell you if you give her attention. Use your plasma to caress her, and she will whisper to you a future where that's important. We're going to talk about that. I'm not going to be able to talk about it on the show. I think I got booted last week because one of the viewers here got really, really mad and reported me. I think that's why it went so fast. I know this is the land of the Pharaoh. This network belongs to Pharaoh. And I don't think Pharaoh's my enemy. I think the people that have always been my enemy have been the people that are pretending to be the truthers. The people that will repeat what I say, but insist on the enemy. Those aren't Pharaoh. It's never Pharaoh. It's always the people that want to be slaves. It's always them. Pharaoh actually is raising the vibration. But you can't see that because you feel certain that it's him, not the other slaves. And that's part of the victimhood. Osiris is green and he's fallen. Osiris is wrapped in white and held in stasis for 70 days. During those 70 days, each organ is meticulously removed carefully and placed into a separate clay jar. Except the brain. The brain is sucked out through the nose with a long stick with a hook, and it's thrown away. Not one part is kept. Not even the pineal. Actually, maybe it is and they don't write that down. Could be that's the case. I don't know. 70 days. That thing lays in fallow. Fallow. Now, yesterday was a full moon. The summer solstice is coming. The summer solstice is the birth of John the Baptist. And the baptism is the cleaning of the sin. It's the washing away of our memories. There are 72 pieces of the brain, the virginity, the 72 virgins that you receive when you enter the gates of heaven are the virginity of amnesia. You're allowed to forget. It's Jubilee, as the Jews say. It's Jubilee. And I would like for you to use these 70 days. When I say 70, I do not literally mean 70 days, although it could be 70 days. It'd be pretty freaking cool if it was. I think that you're going to see a fallow vibration. I think it's been here since the Great Seal last year. I don't know how long these takes. If you guys saw my work on Richard from Boston, you know that I do not see well enough to know the timing of these things. In fact, because of that, I completely misinterpret it all the time. You have to look at me as, fuck, this guy's way off, but fuck, he's got something. And you got to figure that out too. Or else you'll be a slave. Or else you'll be my slave. And you'll see how shitty I treat you. I don't want slaves. I treat my slaves like shit until they leave. Why? Because I fucking love them. There are other people that no. They're like, oh, come slave, come. We will build me a golden phallus because mine isn't big enough. My phallus is fine. Anyway, this reset, this fallow period, is giving you time to turn off that engine. Please, open the box up. and just flip the wires. You don't have to change anything else. Just flip the wires, that's all. I want you to look at potlatch. I want you to look at paying it forward. If you don't understand the word potlatch, that's fine. Look at paying it forward in energy as your motor, as your sail. I want you to start saying, this is what I can make happen. This is a feasible, realistic goal that I can make happen, but there's no guarantees. And I want you to propel yourself on the belief only, that you have 70 days to clump around in this harbor, that all of us are in little sunfish right now, and I want us to practice together. And the only way to practice is you don't have a motor on a sunfish. You just have a rudder and a sail. I want you to practice tacking with your belief. Oh, I don't know. Yes, I do. I don't know. Do that the same way they do it with Republican, Democrat. So even though you're saying, I don't know, you're still staying in the orbit. You're still tacking. You're finding that sine wave. Your frequency is tunable. And I want to show you the power of that magic in our show and in our lectures. That's all I'm going to do now. Oh, I think crypto is the way to go, personally. And there's so many cryptos out there that you would be a fucking idiot just to go, okay, well, that's what I'm going to do. In fact, when you hear someone saying crypto is bad, I want you to realize you're dealing with a very ignorant, hypothetical person. I say hypothetical because crypto is so diverse and large that it's really hard to call it bad or good. I know a lot of crypto that's bad, and I know a lot of crypto that's good. And I think that you're going to find that the way that you are going to survive is in a jungle. In a jungle, nothing is given to you for free. There's no such thing as a pharaoh. And that you've needed the pharaoh of the pyramid to believe that your currency can be transferred into something that's intangible, something that's not gold. That's why the dollar is fake. They're trying to show you that your fucking energy is so much more valuable and that you imbue things. And if we want a nation of trading teddy bears, it's going to be harder than crypto because the daughter is going to be very fucking pissed at you because you traded her teddy bear for a fucking Lexus. You might think it was a good deal, but she will not. Your currency is your belief. If your belief is in crypto, if your belief is in the dollar, if your belief is in Quartal, if your belief is in LTC, blow it. Blow it. Give it all the sails you can. Unfurl the main. Let it be embarrassing as fuck if it slaps back against the main, because you are here to learn in these next 70 days how fucking powerful your belief is. Read my book, Technology of Belief. Stop waiting for me to spoon feed it to you in an audiobook. Has it happened yet? No. It's not. I'm going to tell you it is, but I'm just going to tell you that so you will shut up about it. I am a fucking writer. If you do not want to sit with me in an intimate, quiet space and allow my words to sound in the voice that you choose in your head, then maybe it's not for you. But if you read Technology of Belief, sorry, this is not how to sell a book, James. Stop it. I want to do an audiobook. I will. It'll be great. Fuck. Slow it down. Read that book. You see why I get mad at Crow for saying belief is the enemy of knowing. It's like, fuck, stop. Stop pretending you're a fucking obelisk. You're not. We are a circuit. And our circuit can only run with mystery injected in between. She only can run if Isis is trying to rebuild what she lost. If Osiris doesn't fall, Isis doesn't give a shit. It's a circuit. Your circuit only runs on belief. Expectation is spent potassium. It's the acid. The soil has produced its vegetables, and now it's acidic. Some of you are farmers going, James has fucking got that backwards. It's actually this. Listen to them. Do not listen to me. I am a farmer of consciousness, not tomatoes. And I make your ass grow. You know it. You know it. Green, Osiris, that's the body dying. It secretes out of the box the pressure of the fermentation, like yeast, cannot get out of that box, cannot get out of the box of your house, of your gypsum box, and you start to glow. The pressure is so bad, you were forced to produce electricity. Constriction is how you become erect. That's all I got, guys. No, I don't. I need you to join Patreon. I need you to say, James, let's produce something fucking amazing with visuals, though, James, because let's do that. Let's do that. Join me on Patreon. Give me super chats. I need your currency will be well spent here. It will be utilized, and not one teddy bear will fall while someone clings to the dollar, going, "No, it's a trap, man. Yeah, it's safe here in the pyramid. Because as long as we're in the pyramid, Pharaoh's not going to get us. But if you go out there where see that shining light where that beautiful Rubenesque woman is that's saying, hey, come here, here's some crypto. Yeah, that's a fucking trap. Yeah, we got to stay here and put our dick in this hole." What happens when you put the dick? I don't know. It just said put your dick in the hole. So that's a trap, though. Here, put your dick in that hole. That's a trap. Everything else is a trap. Not here. You're supposed to. It says here we're supposed to put our mouth on this hole too. That's weird. Wow. I don't know what that's about. I don't know, but that's a trap.